regionals. We'll be doing some more of those competitions, hoping to get some more qualifiers to go to regionals in the spring. We will also be doing Thespian Festival. Thespian Festival is a statewide festival. We are fortunate to have 3 active state officers in this group. You'll see them tonight as well. And so this group is very, very involved. So we'll do the Thespian competition in January, where we will also do our state show for the state thespians. And then followed by a Shake Fest competition, which will take place right here at Charles Page High School. So we're very excited to host that this year. We will launch into spring, March 2nd, as it says on your program. We are going to be doing the Lightning Thief. So if you are a Percy Jackson fan, you're definitely going to want to roll out to that and spread the word for that. And then we will wrap up at the end of the semester with a children's show in May. We have not decided what that title is going to be yet, but we always like to do something for our littles. So we'll be having the elementary schools come here, or we might go to them, kind of changes from year to year, to share some theater with our stand-up littles. So we stay busy all year long. And in the summertime, we will travel to International Thespian Festival in Indiana. So everything that you do for CPHS drama, every concession you buy, every donation, every sponsorship, every ticket goes to help these kids follow their passion, their dream, and see theater through high school and possibly on into college. Some of these kiddos who will be seeing on stage are going to be auditioning for college programs in January and possibly this summer. So again, I just want to reiterate how proud I am of them and how honored I am to be the one that gets to lead them. I want to also thank you so much, parents and supporters of your kiddos. We cannot do this without you getting them here to their rehearsals. I work them hard, as you know, and they rise to the occasion. So thank you so much for your support. I want to thank Karen Miller and Sand Springs Women's Club, for sponsoring the show this evening. They are 2 big sponsors for this show. We've had some small sponsorships as well, but thank yous are in the program. But a special shout out to Sand Springs Community Theater, without whom we could not do what we do. Some of the stuff you see up here belongs to SSCT and vice versa. They'll be borrowing some of our stuff when they do their next show. First weekend of December, when Mary comes home for Christmas. That's coming up as well. So we really have a really good relationship to trade things and help each other with set pieces and prop pieces and such. So we're very appreciative of Sand Springs Community Theater. Sand Springs Schools, Charles Page High School, Stan Trout, without them we could not do what we do. They support us wholeheartedly. So thank you, and thank you again for being here. One final announcement. Intermissions, we have 2 brief intermissions between the acts. We have Act 1 and an intermission for 10 minutes. We have Act 2 and an intermission for 10 minutes, and we'll come back for a very brief Act 3. So 2 brief 10-minute intermissions, hit the bathrooms, hit the concessions. And if you guys could please, I know this is a big ask, but if you could turn your cell phones off, that helps our signal connection with the mics. We have feedback problems with interference with cell phones. If you would not mind doing that, that would be great. If you want to get pictures with your kiddos, they will be out front after the show. You can get all the pictures you want, and we took a bunch of pictures tonight, which will be available to the kiddos. So thank you so much for being here, and as soon as I get up in the booth, we will start our production of the classic, You Can't Take It With You.
My, that kitchen's hot.
What, Essie?
I said that kitchen's awful hot. That new candy I'm making just won't ever get cool.
Essie, do you have to make candy today? It's such a hot day.
Well, I got all those new orders. Ed went out and got a bunch of new orders.
I suppose if this keeps up, you'll be opening up a store.
That's what Ed was saying last night. But I said, no, I want to be a dancer.
Yes, but the only thing with dancing is that it takes so long. You've been studying such a long time.
Only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for about 8 years, and we started around the same time, didn't we?
Yes, but you shouldn't count my first 2 years because I was only learning how to type. I think the candy's hardening up now, Miss Sassy.
Oh, thank you, Reba. I'll bring some in. Mother, I want you to try some. Mwah.
Did you finish the second act, Mrs. Sycamore?
What, Reba?
I said, did you finish the second act?
Oh no, I've gotten Cynthia into her in the monastery.
She was at the Kit Kat, wasn't she?
Yes, but she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, so she goes to this monastery.
Do they let her in?
Oh yes, I made it Visitor's Day, so they'll let anybody in.
Oh.
Yeah, so she goes to this monastery and she just stays.
You mean she stays all night?
Oh yes, she stays 6 years.
6 years? Ma, I bet she busts that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Mr. DePinna! Yeah? Mr. DePinna, will you please bring up one of the new skyrockets? I want to show them to Miss Sycamore.
Sure.
Look, Penny. Why do you think of these little firecrackers you just made? We need some 10 strings for a cent. Listen. Nice, huh?
Yes. Paul dear, were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. Wait till you see the new skyrocket. Gold stars, then blue stars, and then bombs, and then a balloon. Mr. DePinna thought the balloon.
Oh, that's nice. Did you do all that today?
Yes, we... Oh, here we are. Look, Penny. Cost us 18 cents, and we can sell them for 50. How many do you figure we can make by the 4th of July, Mr. DePinna?
Well, we've got 2 weeks yet. What day are we going to take the stuff up to Mount Vernon?
About a week. You know, we're going to need a larger booth this year. We got a lot of stuff made up. Come on, we're not through yet.
Well, Mr. Sycamore, I'm afraid that the powder is a little bit close to the balloon.
But we got the stars and bombs in between.
Well, yes, but that doesn't give the balloon enough time. A balloon needs plenty of time.
Come on, let's go down to the cellar and try it.
All right, yes.
Mr. DePinna, if someone you ever loved entered a monastery, what would you do?
Well, I don't know, Miss Sycamore. It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Is Miss Alice coming to dinner tonight, Mrs. Sycamore?
I don't know, maybe.
Well, I'll set a place for her, but you know, she's only been home one night this week.
Yes, I know.
Well, Miss Essie's making some mighty good candy today. She's doing something new with coconuts.
That's nice.
Let's see, 6 to Mr. DePinna, and if Mr. Collencobb comes, that makes 8, don't it? Yeah, I better set for 8.
Reba, I'm thinking of going back to the war play.
Oh, the war play. I always liked that one.
They'll be better when they're harder, Mother. But try one. I want to know what you think.
Oh, they look lovely. What do you call these?
I think I'm going to call them Love Dreams.
I'm thinking of going back to the war play, Essie.
Oh, are you, Mother?
Yes, I've kind of gotten myself into a monastery and I can't get out.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Remember how you got out of that brothel? Did Reba feed the snakes?
I don't know. Reba, did you feed the snakes?
No, ma'am, but Delia's bringing the flies in.
Well, just make sure you feed them before Grandpa gets home. You know how he is. Oh, and here. Take Larry, Curly, Mo, Harbo, and Groucho with you to the kitchen.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe I'll have another love dream.
Mr. DePinna was right. The powder chambers were too close to the balloon.
Would you like a love dream, Father? They're on the table.
No thanks, I've got to wash.
I'm thinking about going back to the war play, Paul.
You are? We're going to have gold stars, after the bombs, and then the balloon. That ought to do it.
You know, Mr. Kolikoff says I'm his most promising pupil.
You'd think with 40 months in one girl that something would happen.
Hey, Essie.
Oh! Oh, well, it's lovely. It has a lot of you in it. I made those new candies this afternoon, Ed.
Yeah?
Yes, you can take them around tonight.
All right.
That's fine, Ed. Remember it when Mr. Kollenkoff comes.
And why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was thinking about this just the other day.
Oh, I don't know. We could have one if you wanted us to. How about Essie? Do you want to have a baby?
Well, I don't care. I'm willing if Grandpa is.
Let's ask him.
Okay.
Labor play, religious play, sex play. It's gotta be in here somewhere.
I was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder.
Anything you want printed, Mr. Penna? How about some more calling cards?
No, thank you. I've still got the first 1,000.
Well, call on somebody, will you?
Right.
What have we got for dinner tonight, Reba? I'm ready to print the menu.
Well, let's see. We got some cornflakes, watermelon, some of them candies Miss Essie made, and some sort of meat. I forget.
I think I'll set up in bone-faced Cheltenham tonight. You know, if I were to take those new candies round today, I'd better print up some descriptive matter after dinner.
Ed, do you think anybody actually reads those things you put in the boxes? Oh, here it is. One more play. Poison gas. Oh, I guess that's Delia.
Reba, Delia's here.
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Delia. How have you been?
I've been fine, Mr. Ed. How you been, Miss Sycamore?
Oh, I've been all right. Delia, were you ever in a monastery?
No, I don't go no place much. I'm retired.
Oh, of course.
Well, I caught a whole mess of flies today, Reba. Here you are.
Oh, you sure did.
So I see you've been working, Miss Sycamore.
Indeed.
Well, how's Grandpa?
Oh, he's all right. Just down at the Columbia for the commencement exercises.
My, the years certainly do roll around.
M-E-A-T. Well, what's he go around there for all the time, Penny?
I don't know. It's just right around the corner. So handy.
Delia, Mr. Penn and I are going up to Mount Vernon with some fireworks. Do you think you could give us a hand?
Now, where?
Mount Vernon.
Oh, yes. Only I can't take no money for it this year, because if the government finds out I'm working, they'll get sore.
Oh. Ed, I was just in the bathroom. Hanging a book. Trotsky, is that book yours?
Yeah, I love the thing.
Well, it reminded me of a previous fireworks display, the last days of Pompeii.
Oh, yes. Palisades Park. That's where we met.
Yes, but then it gave me a wonderful idea, the revolution, a full-hour display.
Say.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The red fire's the flag, huh?
And the Tsar, and the Cossacks.
And the freeing of the slaves.
No, Delia, the Russian Revolution.
Oh.
Hi, Grandpa.
Wasn't it nice?
Been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
Wasn't it nice commencement, Grandpa?
Oh, wonderful. They get better every year.
Big class this year, Grandpa? How many were there?
Oh, it must have been 2 acres. Everybody graduated. Yes, sir, and much funnier speeches than they had last year.
You want to hear a good speech, you go up and hear Father Divine.
Oh, wait, they'll have them at Columbia.
Wait till you see the new skyrocket we just made.
Oh.
Evening, Grandpa.
Evening, Mr. DePenna.
Mr. DePenna, what do you say we made this fine skyrocket today?
We certainly did. Hey, Reba! Grandpa's home! We can have dinner!
All right.
She never listens.
So, well, why don't we have fireworks at commencements, then?
They don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement orator, he'll drown out the whole carload of fireworks and say just as much, too.
Don't they ever let the graduates talk?
Oh, no. They just sit there in their caps and nightgowns and go up and grab their diplomas, and about 20 years from now, they'll look at themselves and say, "Where am I?"
Hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't I even get kissed?
Oh.
I'll take a tomato, too.
Oh.
I could have used a couple of these this afternoon.
Father?
No thanks.
Mother?
No, thank you, dear.
Play something, Ed.
Grandpa, there was a letter that came for you. Did you get it?
A letter for me? No, I don't know anybody.
Oh, well, it was for you, though. It had your name on it.
Oh, where is it now?
I don't know. Mother, where's the letter that came for Grandpa?
I think I remember seeing one of the kittens sitting on it.
Did it say who it was from? Did you notice?
Yes, it was on the outside.
Oh. Well, who is it from?
The United States government.
Wonder what they could have wanted.
There was one before that, too, from the same people. Actually, there was a couple of them.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd given it to me.
Of course, Grandpa.
You know, you can mail a letter all the way from Nicaragua nowadays for 2 pesetos.
You don't say.
Kevin, my virginity is a priceless thing to me.
Well, I think I'll head up to Westchester this afternoon and do a little bit of snake hunting.
God is the state, and the state is God.
What's that?
God is state, and the state is God.
Who says that?
Trotsky.
Oh, well that's all right. I thought you said it.
It's nice for printing, you know. Good and short. G-O-D space.
And so, the beautiful princess came into the palace and she kissed her mother and her father and her grandfather.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandpa, and what do you think? They turned to the Sycamore family, surprised.
Oh, Alice, I like it. Do you? It's new, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it looks so nice and summery.
Oh, where'd you get it?
I took a walk during lunch hour.
Oh.
You've been taking an awful lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the K. Francis of Kirby & Co. Well, what's new around here in the way of plays, snakes, ballet dancing, and fireworks? Dad, I'll bet you've been down in that cellar all day.
Huh?
I'm going back to the war play, Alice.
Really, Mother?
Yes, I've gotten Cynthia to a monastery and I can't get her out.
Oh, Ed, play Alice that new Beethoven thing you wrote.
Listen, people, listen. I'm not coming home to dinner tonight. A young gentleman is calling for me.
Oh, it's it.
Why? I've done everything I could to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me.
Why don't you both stay to dinner?
No, I want him to take you in easy doses. I've tried to pair him a little, but don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't read him any plays, Mother, and don't let a snake bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Essie, because we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
You can't do anything with him. Who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby & Co., Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son?
Are you guys gonna get married?
Oh, of course, tonight. Meanwhile, I just have to go put on my wedding dress.
Is he handsome?
Yes, in a word. What time is it?
I don't know. Does anybody have the time?
Mr. DePinna might know.
It was about 5 o'clock a couple hours ago.
Oh, I ought to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes, please?
Yes, dear.
Guess what I mean, the minute he comes.
Yes, Alice.
Well, be sure.
Well, what do you think of that?
She seems to like him if you ask me.
I would say so. She's got it pretty bad.
If they get married, I think we should have the wedding here.
Now, Penny, he'd only ever called for her once.
Oh, but you only called for me once.
Well, young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Look at Ed and me. He came for dinner once and just stayed. Mwah.
Anyhow,
Oh, yes. It's wonderful to see her so happy.
Yes. And I wonder, he must be crazy about her too. I wonder if he's the one who's been taking her out every night. Oh, that must be him. Never mind, Rita, I'll get the door.
Well, let's get a look at him.
Oh, remember when Alice said everybody be very nice to him. Welcome to our little home.
How do you do?
Do come right in. I'm Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore, and this is Mr. Sycamore. And this is Alice's sister, Essie. Hi! And this is Essie's husband, Ed Carmichael. And then this is Grandpa.
How do you do?
Now do give me your hat and make yourself right at home.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
Well, how's that?
My card.
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
How can we help you?
Does a Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Yes, sir, that's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax?
Do you mind if I sit down?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
No, dear. Wilbur is going rather with someone. Pardon me.
Excuse me for interrupting, Mr. Sycamore, but
What is it?
these things are just not going off. Look.
Now, not right now. Grandpa's busy.
Oh.
Excuse me.
No, Mr. Vanderhoff. We've written you several letters about this and have not had any reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
I told you they were from the government.
According to our records, Mr. Vanderhoff, you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
Well, you own property, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you receive a yearly income from it
I do.
of between $3,000 and $4,000.
About that, yes.
You've been receiving it for years.
Yes, 1901 if you want the exact date.
Well, the government is only concerned from 1914 on. That's when the income tax first started.
Well,
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, it seems you owe the government 24 years as back income tax.
Wait a minute, you can't go back that far, that's not long.
What's your name?
What difference does that make?
Ever file an income tax return?
No, sir.
Oh, I see. What was your income last year?
$28.50, wasn't it, Essie?
Yes, sir.
You please. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you know there is quite a penalty for not filing an income tax return.
Penalty?
now, Mr. Henderson, let me ask you a little question.
Well,
Let's say I do pay you this money. Now, mind you, I'm not saying I'm going to pay it, but for the sake of argument, what's the government going to do with it?
what do you mean?
Well, if I go into a Macy's and I buy something, there it is. I can see it. What's the government going to give me?
Well, the government gives you everything. It protects you.
Oh, really? From what?
Well, invasion. The foreigners who might come over here and take everything you've got.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Well, if you didn't file an income tax, you would. How do you think the government keeps up with the army and the navy? All those battleships.
Battleships? Why, we haven't used battleships since the Spanish-American War. And what do we get out of that? Cuba. And we gave that back. I wouldn't mind paying if it were something sensible.
Sensible? Well, what about Congress, the Supreme Court, the President? We've got to pay them, don't we?
Not with my money. No, sir.
Now just wait a minute. I am not here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid an income tax and you've got to pay it.
Well, they've got to show me.
We do not have to show you. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington, and interstate commerce, and the Constitution.
Oh, the Constitution was paid for a long time ago, and Interstate commerce? What is interstate commerce anyhow?
There are 48 states. And if there weren't interstate commerce, nothing could go from one state to another. See?
Why not? They got fences?
No, they haven't got fences. They've got laws. My word, I've never come across anything like this before.
You know, I might pay about $75, but that's all it's worth.
You will pay every cent, like everybody else.
Listen, Essie, listen to this a moment.
And let me tell you something else. You'll go to jail if you don't pay. Do you hear that? That's the law. And if you think you're bigger than the law, then you've got another thing coming. You're no better than anybody else. And the sooner you get that through your head, the better. You'll be hearing from the United States government. That's all I can say. Thank you. Jesus.
How's that, Essie?
Oh, that was fine, Ed.
Don't trip on your way out.
Oh!
What did y'all think of that?
I liked it.
My, he was mad, wasn't he?
Oh, it's not his fault. The whole thing's just so silly.
He forgot his hat also.
What size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
Oh, I'll take it.
Who was that fellow anyway?
Oh, just now make sure of it.
Got it? Oh, I hope he's good looking.
How do you do?
Good evening.
Is this Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.?
Yes.
Oh, do go right in. I'm Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore, and this is Alice's sister,
Hi.
and Essie's husband, Ed Carmichael. And this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore. And this is Grandpa.
How do you
And
do?
this is Delia.
Oh, what?
And this is Delia.
Oh!
Do come right in and make yourself right at home.
Oh, thank you. I hope I'm not keeping you guys from dinner.
Oh, why, no, not at all. Here, I'll grab you a tomato.
No thanks.
How about a piece of candy, Mr. Kirby?
No thank you.
Oh, and I almost forgot. This is Mr. DePenna. This is Mr. DePenna, Mr. Kirby.
Wasn't I reading about your father in the newspaper the other day? He got indicted, right?
No, hardly that. He just testified before the Securities Commission.
Ah.
Yes, and I'm sure there was nothing crooked about it, Mr. DePenna. In fact, Alice has often told us about what a wonderful man your father is.
Well, I know Father couldn't get along without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
Mr. Kirby, aren't you awful young to be vice president of such a big place like that?
You know what that means, Vice President, right? I just have a desk with my name on it.
Oh.
Is that all? Don't you get a salary?
Yes, more than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Oh, now you're just being honest.
What? Wall Street, huh? It sounds kind of dull to me. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been there very long.
Oh, well, just out of college, huh?
Well, I kind of just knocked it around, sort of had fun.
Oh, what'd you do? Travel?
For a while, then I went to Cambridge for a year.
England.
That's right.
Say, what's an English commencement like? Did you see any?
Oh, very impressive.
Oh, they are, huh?
Well, now the fun's over, and I'm facing the world.
So now I suppose you're ready to settle down and get married.
Now, Penny, I'm sure Mr. Kirby can make up his own mind.
I wasn't making up his mind, was I, Mr. Kirby?
No, not at all.
You see,
Oh, Mother, you mustn't rush
I'm
him.
not rushing him. I'm just saying, suppose he's ready to settle down and he finds the wrong girl.
Well, here I am, vision in yellow.
Oh.
Apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
Yes, we were having delightful discussions about
Love and marriage.
Oh dear. I'm so sorry, I came as fast as I could.
It's quite all right.
Oh, damn those flies in the kitchen. Oh, Miss Alice, you look beautiful. Where are you going?
I'm going out
Yeah.
Oh.
Ah, my little Rabichka. Mwah, mwah.
Oh.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Mr. Kolnikov.
Ah, Grandpa, I have just received letter from Russia. The second 5-year plan is failure. Ha! Huzzah!
Mr. Kolnikov, I've been practicing my dancing.
Oh, my Pavlova.
If you'll excuse us, Mr. Kolnikov.
Miss Alice. Never before have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you, Mr. Kolnikov. Tony, this is Mr. Kolnikov, Ash's dancing teacher. Mr. Kirby.
How do you do? How do you do? Mwah, mwah.
Pardon us, Mr. Kolnikov. We're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
Monte Carlo Ballet. It stinks.
Yes, well, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. It was so nice to have met you all.
Have a nice time.
Monte Carlo Ballet.
Oh, he was nice. Come on, everybody, dinner's ready.
Oh.
I thought he was a nice fella, didn't you?
Oh yes, and so good looking.
Oh, did you notice his manners, Paul? He had such nice manners.
Yes, but you were getting quite personal with him.
Oh, now, Paul. Anyhow, I think he's lovely.
Yes, he looks like a cousin of
I
mine.
think if they get married, out at the altar where the snakes are. If you don't mind, Grandpa.
Oh, not if the snakes don't.
Oh no, they'll want to get married in a church. His family and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet, everybody. Quiet. Well, sir, we're here to thank you for everything you're doing for us, and why we're certainly getting along, and we're very much obliged. And of course, we'd like to keep our health in check, but as far as everything else is concerned, we'll leave that to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, the second 5-year plan's a failure, eh, Colin Goff?
Ah, catastrophic. And wait until they try the third 5-year plan.
A sycamore marrying a Kirby. It's so exciting.
It totally is.
I'll play the wedding march on the xylophone.
Oh yes.
So nice.
I wonder what they're having for dinner.
Oh, thank you very much.
I think so. It's great.
Well, it's been so lovely, Tony. I hate to have it over.
Oh, is it over already? Do I have to go?
Not if you don't want to.
I won't.
Would you like a cold drink?
Wonderful.
I'll see what's in the icebox. Want to come along?
I'd follow you to the ends of the earth.
So just the dining room is enough.
Why, I quite like this place. You've done it very simply.
Yes, it's so easy to live with. Lucky you're not hungry, Mr. K. An icebox full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of the sycamores.
Why they make these bottles so hard to open? I never could. Dang it. There it is.
I'll take mine in the glass if you don't mind.
There you are, a foaming beaker.
Anyhow, it's cold.
Now, if you'll please be seated, I'd like to offer you a toast.
Yes, sir.
Miss Sycamore, to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
You know something?
What?
I would trade 1 minute of this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
Can you read the good earth? Oh dear. I suppose I have to go.
Is it very late?
Very. Oh, I don't want to go, Alice.
I don't want you to.
I won't. When do you get your vacation?
Last week's in August.
I'll take mine then too.
Really?
What do you plan on doing?
I don't know. I haven't thought much about it yet.
Going away, don't you think?
I might not. I like the city in the summertime.
I do too.
But you always go up to Maine, don't you?
Well, yes, but I'm sure I'd like the city in the summer if, oh, you know what I mean, Alice. I'd love it if you were here.
Well, it'd be nice if you're here too, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
You'd rather spend your summer with me than anybody else.
Was I?
Well, if it's true about the summer, then what about, say, the winter?
Yes, I'd like that too.
Then there's spring, autumn, if you can see your way clear about those with sycamore.
I might.
Well, that's the whole year, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well then.
Is that you? What's on I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
No, not at all, Mrs. Sycamore.
No, Mother.
I just came down for a manuscript is all. Oh, here it is. Whew. Sex takes a holiday. I better be getting to bed. Good night, Allison. Good night, Tony.
Good night, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, I think you can call me Penny. I hope that's all right. Anyways,
What's that?
It's all right, Tony. That's just Father.
This time of night?
Any time of night, any time of day.
Oh, jeez, I need a drink. You know, you're more beautiful, more lovely, more adorable than anyone else on the whole earth.
Don't, Tony.
Darling, just because your mother is like that, all mothers are like that. Penny is a darling. You see, I'm even calling her Penny.
I don't mean that. Look, Tony, this is something I should have said a long time ago, but I didn't have the courage. I let myself be swept away because I loved you so.
Darling!
No, wait, Tony. I want to make it clear to you. You're out of a different world, a whole different kind of people. Well, I don't mean money or socially, that's too silly, but your family and mine, it wouldn't work, Tony. It just wouldn't work.
All right, have it your way. She can't dance. That's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
I just don't know if I'd call dancing what she does. Oh, hello. How was the ballet?
It was fine, Essie.
Wonderful.
Hello there.
Hello.
Now look, what do you people think? Ed and I just seen Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Oh. Mr. Kirby, do you think she can dance?
Why, yes, I always thought so.
Oh, well, what does she do anyhow? Come here. Now, you're Fred Astaire and I'm Ginger Rogers.
Essie, please.
Oh, I'm only going to use it for a moment. Now, Mr. Kirby.
Essie, you are just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all agree.
Ed?
Yeah, come on, Essie. We're funding here.
Oh, well, they've been together all evening.
Essie.
Good night, Tony. Good night, Alice. Mwah.
Good night, Mrs. Carmichael.
Essie, did you ask Grandpa about us having a baby?
Oh, yes. He said go right ahead. Oh.
You see, Tony, that's what it would be like.
Oh, I didn't mind that. Anyhow, it's just gonna be you and I.
No, it's not. It's never quite that. I love them, Tony. I love them deeply. Most people could break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're gay and they're fun, and I don't know, there's a kind of nobility about them.
Alice, you talk as though only you could understand them. That's not true. Every family has got their own odd, curious little traits. My father, he raises orchids at thousands of dollars a bulb. Is that sensible? My mother believes in spiritualism. How is that any different from your mother writing plays?
Goes deeper, Tony. Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable, and your father, he raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago, a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
But darling, what of it?
And look at Grandpa. 35 years ago, he just quit business one day. He started up to his office in the elevator and came right back down again. He just stopped. He could have been a rich man, but he said it took too much time. So for 35 years, he just collected snakes and went to circuses and commencements. It never occurs to any of them to just
Hello there, children. Oh, good evening, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Hello,
Good
Grandpa.
How's the weather tonight? Oh, wow. Looks like a nice summer evening.
Yes, it's lovely, Grandpa.
Well, I'll be off. I've got a date with the police officer.
Policeman?
A standing date. 12:30 every night. I've known him since he was a little boy. Well, he's really a doctor.
But after he graduated, he came to me and he said, I don't want to be a doctor. What I've really always wanted to be is a policeman. So I looked at him and I said, you go right ahead and be a policeman. And that's just what he did. What do you think of my new hat?
Oh, it looks very nice, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Yeah, I really like it. The government gave it to me.
Oh, hello. I didn't know you folks was in here.
It's all right, Delia.
Well, Reba kind of fancied some bug dreams, and you don't want any, do you?
No, Delia.
So, did you folks have a nice night?
Yes, Delia.
Yeah. Nice, ballet nice?
Yes, Delia.
Nice dinner?
Yes, Delia.
That's nice. You folks have a nice evening.
Now do you see what I mean? Could you explain Delia to your father? Could you explain Grandpa to your father? You couldn't, Tony. You just couldn't. I love you, Tony, but I love them too, and it's no use, Tony. It's no use.
There's only one thing that you said that matters. That makes, well, any sense. You love me.
But Tony, I know so
But
well.
darling, don't you think other people have had the same problem? Other people have got families too.
Not like mine.
But darling, that doesn't stop people who love each other. So will you go on loving me and forget everything else?
How can I?
Because we love each other. That's so, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, then.
Tony? No! Tony! Oh my...
Well, now, I'd like to see, well, a little gaiety around here. Young men calling and getting engaged and everything.
What do I say?
Well, first, you thank the young man for getting engaged to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
Then, you tell him what it was that first took your heart.
The back of your head.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't your charm, and it wasn't your money. It was the back of your head. I just kind of liked it.
So, what happened after I turned around?
I got used to that after a while.
Come to think of it, Alice, we're pretty lucky, aren't we?
I know that I am. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
I'm not exactly unlucky myself. Oh, dear. I suppose I'll have to... Good night, Alice. Until tomorrow.
Good night.
Isn't it wonderful we work in the same office? Otherwise, I'd be hanging around here all day.
Won't it be funny seeing each other in the office tomorrow and just going along as though nothing's happened?
Thank God I'm vice president. I can just dictate to you all day. Dear Miss Sycamore, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Darling, you're such a fool.
Won't you meet me in the drugstore in the morning? I've got a million things to say to you.
All right.
And then there's lunch and dinner tomorrow night.
Tony, what will people say?
Oh, it's gotta come out sometime. Matter of fact, if you know a rooftop, I'd like to do a little shouting. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's on a good night's work.
That's what 500 Black Panthers, 300 willow trees, and 8 dozen junior kitty bombers.
Pretty good. Why, hello, Alice. Have you just come in?
No, I've been home quite a while.
Have a nice evening?
I had a beautiful evening, Father.
Wait till you see that new golden fire we have. Mr. DePinna, can you please dim the lights? I want Alice to get the full effect.
What, Father?
Look at this new thing. It might not have the best ingredients, you know, the formula's a little flawed, but
It does take
it
away
works.
from my mind. More gunpowder, I think.
Yeah. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, yes. Everything's beautiful, Father. It's the most beautiful golden fire in the world.
So I said to him, you can take your old job.
I'm ready to review the new play, Mrs. Wellington, anytime you are.
Oh, just a minute, dude. Hold on.
The only thing is, and I hope you don't mind my mentioning this, but you don't drink when you're acting, do you?
Oh, I am glad you asked. Why, once a play opens, I never touch a drop. The minute I enter the stage door, the bottle gets put away till intermission.
Have you been on the stage long, Miss Wellington?
Oh, all my life I've played everything. Ever see Peg on My Heart?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it too with Joe. My, it's a hot night, ain't it?
You want me to open the window, Miss Wellington?
Oh no, to hell with the weather. Say, he's cute.
Yeah, anytime you're ready, we'll head upstairs to read the play. I figured we could read it in my room.
All right, Jerry, I'm ready. Oh, God. When I see snakes, it's time to lay down.
Oh, Mrs. Wellington, those are Grandpa's. Oh, I hope she doesn't. Mrs. Wellington!
She's out like a light.
Better let her sleep it off.
Oh, do you think she'll be all right?
Oh, well, yes, but I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
Oh, I suppose I'll have to wait.
Reba! Miss Wellington passed out!
Yes.
Next time you meet an actress on the bus, Pennies, I'd send her the play instead of bringing her home to read it.
And I wish you'd stop printing and take those love dreams around. You know you have to be back in time to play for me when Mr. Kollenkoff comes.
Colin Cobb coming tonight?
Yes. Tomorrow's his night, but I changed it on account of Alice.
Oh, big doings here tomorrow night then, huh?
Yes, I'm so nervous you thought it was me getting engaged instead of Alice.
What do you think they'll be like, his mother and father? Ed, what are you doing now?
Penny, did you see the new mask I made last night? Guess who it is?
Oh, don't tell me, Ed. Helen of Troy.
Roosevelt.
Oh.
You know, the cool thing about these Machina sets is you can make anything out of them. Like last week, it was the Empire State Building.
What is it this week?
Queen Mary.
Well, she doesn't got the right hat on.
Look, Mr. Pingo, would you open the door and see if there's a man standing in front of the house?
Why?
Well, for the last 2 days when I've been out delivering candy, I think a man's been following me.
Oh, Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me and he stands and watches the house.
Well, I'll go take a look. Okay.
I don't see what anybody would be following you for, Ed.
Well, there are a lot of kidnappings going on, Grandpa.
Yeah, but not of Ed.
Well, did you see him?
There's absolutely no one out there.
You're sure?
Positive. I just saw him walk away.
You see?
Oh, it might have been anyone walking along the street. Now, will you hurry up and get back?
All right.
Mr. Sycamore, would you like to go down to the set and finish packing up the fireworks?
Yes, we gotta pack up for Mount Vernon for tomorrow.
Mother, may I borrow some paper? I'm making out a list for Reba for tomorrow night.
Yes, of course, dear.
Thank you. Why, what happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
No, dear, she's really drunk.
Oh. Essie, you're going to give Reba the kitchen all day tomorrow, aren't you? Because she'll need it.
Oh, yes. I'll start on the love dreams now. That way I'm ahead. Thank you.
Okay, look, Mother, I'll be home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Will you have everything down in the cellar by that time? The typewriter, the snakes, the xylophone, and the printing press.
And Miss Wellington.
And Miss Wellington. That'll give you time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
Yes, dear.
The Kirby's are certainly getting the wrong idea of this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother?
Yes, dear.
And I think we better have cocktails ready by 7:15 in case they happen to come a little early. I wonder if I ought to let Reba cook the dinner. What do you think, Grandpa?
Oh, well, Alice, from what I've seen of the boy, I'm sure the Kirby's are lovely people. And if everything's not so elaborate tomorrow night, that's okay too.
Grandpa, I'm not trying to impress them or pretend we're something we're not. I just want everything to go off well.
No reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
Alice, we are going to do everything we can to make tomorrow night's party nice.
Oh, my darlings, I love you. family in the world, and I'm the happiest girl in the world. I never knew anyone could be so happy. Like, this past week, it's felt like floating. He's so wonderful, Grandpa. Why, just seeing him, you don't know what it does to me.
You just seeing him, huh? Just seeing him for lunch and dinner and till 3 o'clock in the morning, and 9 o'clock the next morning, you're back at the office, and there he is again. Just seeing him, huh?
I don't care, I'm in love. Reba! Reba!
It's wonderful to see her so happy, isn't it?
Yes, I remember when Paul and I were engaged, how happy I was. And you know, I still feel that way.
Yeah? It's nice the way Ed and Essie are getting along, too.
Yes. Do you think Mr. DePinna will ever find anyone?
Well, there's Miss Wellington.
Oh, I do hope she wakes up. If we're going to read that play tonight.
Sycamore, look what I found.
Oh, yes, it's my painting of you as the discus thrower. Look, Grandpa.
I remember that. Say, your hair's gotten pretty long since then, hasn't it, Mr. DePinna?
Oh, well, I suppose. Well, it was a long time ago, just before I started writing plays, 8 years ago.
It's too bad you never finished it, Miss Sycamore.
Yes, I just stopped painting one day, and that was that.
Just as well, too. I was going to have to be the one posting next.
Who would have thought that day that I came to deliver the ice, I would have just stayed for 8 years?
The milkman was just ahead of you. He stayed for 5.
Yes, why did he leave anyhow? I forget.
Oh, he didn't leave. He died.
Oh.
Yes, he was such a lovely man. Remember the funeral, Grandpa?
Yeah.
We didn't know his name, and it was kind of hard to get a certificate.
What was the name we came up for him anyways?
Martin Vanderhoff. We gave him your name.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yes, it was a wonderful idea. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten all those flowers.
Oh, yes, and it certainly hasn't bothered me any. Haven't been bothered by mail from then, and haven't had a telephone call from that day to this.
I do wish you finished that, Miss Sycamore. I'd kind of like to have it.
You know what, Mr. DePinna? I think I'll do some work on it right tonight.
Say, will you?
Yes. You go down into the basement and put on your toga. When do I put my brushes and paints?
Rubishka, my little Rubishka!
Yes, sir, Mr. Collincoff.
As he's in the kitchen, Mr. Collincoff.
Madam Sycamore, I greet you. Grandpa, tell me, what do I do about Rubishka? I keep telling her she would make a great toe dancer, but she laughs only.
Oh no, Mr. Collincoff. I couldn't get up on my toes. I got corns.
You could wear diamonds, Rubishka. A great woman. What is that?
It's a picture of Mr. DePinna. Penny painted it.
It stinks.
I know. What do you think of that?
What is that?
She's an actress, a friend of Penny's.
Oh, she is drunk, no?
Oh, yes, she is drunk. How are you, Collincoff?
Ah, magnificent! Life is chasing around inside me like squirrel.
Tis, huh? How are things in Russia? Have you heard from your friend in Moscow?
Ah, I have just received a letter from him. I say for you, a stamp.
Thanks, Collincoff.
They have sent him off to Siberia.
They have, huh? How do you like it?
He's escaped. He's escaped and gone back to Moscow. I tell you, he will get them if they do not get him first. Soviet government. I could just take the whole Soviet government and...
Mr. Collincoff! Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I'll get into my fancy clothes right away.
Tonight, you will work, my Pavlova. Tonight, we will try something new.
Is Essie making any progress, Collincoff?
To be honest, she stinks.
Well, as long as that
Yes, she is a great woman too. Delia, what do you think of Soviet government?
The what, Mr. Collincoff?
I would throw the question. What do you think of this government?
Oh, I like it fine. I'm retired, you know.
Ah, yes, and you like it?
Yes, sir, it's fine. The only thing is, you gotta go around
to the place every week to get it, and sometimes you gotta stand in line pretty near half an hour. The government ought to be run better than that, don't you think, Grandpa?
I think the government ought to stop sending me letters. They want me to be at the United States Marshal's office Tuesday at 10 a.m. Look at that.
Ah, income tax. They've got you now, Grandpa.
Yep, they want me to pay them a lot of money and keep Delia on Social Security.
You don't say, Grandpa. So you're gonna pay it from now on?
Uh-huh, that's what they want.
So you mean I can come here to get it instead of standing in that line?
Oh no, Delia. I'm afraid you'll still have to waste half an hour of your time every week.
Well, I don't like it. It breaks up my week.
She should have been in Russia when the revolution came. Then she would have stood in line. A bread line? Ah, Grandpa, what have they done to Russia? Think of it. Just the other day, I saw the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina, cousin of the Tsar, serving baked beans in a child's restaurant. It broke my heart. The crazy world we live in, Grandpa.
Oh, Colin Cobb, the world's not so crazy. It's the people in it. Life's pretty simple. You just relax.
How can you relax in times like these?
Well, if people just relax, there wouldn't be times like these. That's just my point. But the trouble is, people tend to forget that.
I know I sure did. I was right in the thick of it, fighting, scratching, clawing, a regular jungle. Till one day I realized I just wasn't having any fun.
So you did what?
I just relaxed. 35 years ago that was. And I've been a happy man ever since.
Good evening, Mr. Kolenkoff.
Ah, Miss Alice, I have not yet seen you to present my congratulations.
Thank you.
I wish you to be happy and have many children. This is my prayer for you.
That's quite a thought.
Love. Love is the only thing left in this world, Grandpa.
Yes, sir, but there's plenty of that.
But soon, Stalin will take that away too, I tell you.
Oh, Penny.
Oh my God. Feels so good to get back to my art things. They look okay, don't they, Grandpa?
Yes, indeed.
You are a breath of Paris, Madame Sycamore.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Kolenkoff.
I didn't know you was working for the WPA.
No, Delia. I used to paint all the time.
Not thinking. There's a fellow following me every place I went.
Nonsense, Ed. It's just your imagination.
No, it isn't. It happens every time I go out to deliver candy.
Maybe he just wants a piece of candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandpa, but he keeps following me.
You do not know what it's like to be followed. In Russia, everyone is followed. Why, I was followed right out of Russia.
You see, Ed, it is just your imagination.
Well, maybe.
Where do you want me, Miss Sycamore?
Over here, Mr. McKenna.
Let me get a discus first.
Ed, for tonight's lesson, we will learn the first move of Sherazati.
Okay.
Mr. DePenna, has something happened to your figure during these 8 years?
No, I don't think it's any different.
Mrs. Sycamore, Mrs. Wellington. Oh dear.
Sorry, Mr. Kolenkoff, I couldn't find my
Slippers.
We have a hot night for it, my Pavlova. But art is only achieved through perspiration.
I like that. You hear that, Grandpa? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Yes, but I'm sure it helps bring out a bit of talent with it, too.
You are ready? We begin! Now, pirouette! Pirouette! Come, it's 8 years now, pirouette! Ah, yes, magnificent! Now, entrechat! Entrechat! No, Grandpa, you cannot relax the stallion in Russia. He's all relaxed, and what happened to him?
It's too late.
Mr. Kolikoff?
I tell you, if the Tsar had not relaxed, then the Grand Duchess of Katrina would not be serving baked beans right now.
Mr. Kolikoff?
Oh, I am terribly sorry. We go back to the away.
Oh, could you pull in your stomach a little bit? That's right.
Come, come, a little freer with the hands. The whole body must work. And help me with the music. The music must be free too. Good evening.
How do you do?
Are we too early?
No. We're glad to see you.
Yes, we just thought you were coming tomorrow night. Tomorrow night?
What?
Now it's perfectly all right. Here, make yourself at home.
I'll tell Alice to sit here in your room. Alice, dear! Come downstairs. We've got a surprise for you. Well.
Now, don't let it bother you at all. Why, this is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore. Alice's sister, Essie, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael, Mr. Kolikoff, and this here is Mr. DePetta.
How do you do?
Please excuse my Roman costume. I'll take it right off.
Why, while you're down there, can you go and grab Mr. DePetta? Can you go and grab Paul for me? Tell him the Kirby's are here.
And tell him to put his pants on.
All right.
Come right in.
Yes.
Mrs. Kirby, may I take your wrap?
Oh, well, if you're perfectly sure that...
Oh, why, they're perfectly harmless. Don't be alarmed at all. Here, Ed, take them into the kitchen.
Yes, we're just so used to having her around the house is all.
I'm terribly sorry. Snakes just happen to be...
I feel very uncomfortable about this. Tony, how could you have done such a thing?
Dad, I'm sorry, I thought it was tonight.
It was very careless of you, very.
Oh, now, Mr. Kirby, everybody gets mixed up once in a while. How about we get you some dinner? Ed, tell Delia to run down to the A&P just around the corner. Tell her to grab half a dozen bottles of beer and some canned salmon. You like canned salmon, don't you, Mr. Kirby?
Please don't trouble Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon?
Oh, I'm very fond of it.
You can have frankfurters if you'd rather.
Either one will do.
Okay. Tell her to grab some frankfurters, some Campbell's soup, and some canned corn. And tell her to hurry. It's just the A&P right around the corner.
Okay. And this is Mr. Sycamore, Alice's father.
How do you do?
Excuse my appearance.
Yes, right around the 4th of July, Mr. Sycamore, as always. It's his busiest time.
Darling, I'm the most dull-witted person in the world.
Tony, I thought you, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine why I wasn't. Have you all met each other?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice? How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Darling, you look lovely.
Of course she does. Now don't let this upset you, my dear. We've just met each other one night sooner, that's all.
Of course. But I was planning such a nice party for tomorrow evening.
Then we'll come again tomorrow evening.
That's right, Alice. Am I forgiven?
I guess so. It's just, we better see about getting you some dinner.
Oh, that's all been attended to, Alice.
But what did you send out for, Mother? Because Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion. He can only have certain things.
Oh, that's all right. It's all right.
I asked him what he wanted.
Yes, but...
It's not as serious as all that, just because I have little indigestion.
Perhaps it is not indigestion at all, Mr. Kirby. Perhaps it's, stomach ulcer.
Don't be absurd, Mr. Kolikoff.
You must excuse Mr. Kolikoff. Why, you see, he's from Russia, and Russians are inclined to look on the darker side of things.
All right. I am Russian, but a friend of mine, a Russian, died from stomach ulcers.
Really?
Please, Mr. Kolenkov, Mr. Kirby has indigestion, and that is all.
All right, let him wait.
What, Mr. Kirby? Wall Street, huh? How are business conditions? Would you say we're very well out of the Depression?
Well, yes, I think so. Of course, it all depends.
Well, yes, but do you figure we'll keep on improving?
Broadly speaking, yes. As a matter of fact, business is now operating at 64% to full capacity, as opposed to 82% in 1925. Of course, in 19...
Mountain, when she comes, she'll be coming round the mountain. When she comes, she'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be, woo! She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes.
You must excuse her. I know this may seem a little strange to you people, but she's not quite accountable for her own actions. She's a friend of Mrs. Sycamore's. She came in and was, well, overcome by the heat.
Yes, some people feel it more than others, you know. Perhaps I should go check on her. Excuse me.
It is awfully hot. You usually escape all this hot weather, don't you, Mrs. Kirby, up in Maine?
As a rule. I had to come down this week, however, for the flower show.
Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon is the high spot of her year.
I won a ribbon once in the flower show for raising onions. Do you remember Alice?
That was a garden show, Essie.
Oh, yes.
I think she'll be okay now. Has Delia come back yet?
No, she hasn't.
Oh, well, I'm sure dinner won't be any time at all.
That's quite all right. Hello, what's this? I didn't know there were children in the house.
No, that's mine.
Really? Well, I guess every man has his hobby, or do you use it as a model of some kind?
No, I just play with it.
I see.
Father, perhaps you would be better off if you had a hobby like that instead of raising orchids.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Do tell us about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. You know, they can take up to 6 years to blossom. Think of that.
Oh, some of them take quite a bit longer than that. I've got them all but waiting 10 years for.
Oh, believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Ah, yes. Of course, during that time, they required most scrupulous care. I remember a while I was rather fond of. Have these beautiful leaves.
Delia! Did you get everything, Delia?
Them only. They didn't have frankfurters, so I got pickled pig's feet.
Oh, never mind that, Delia. Just bring everything to the kitchen. Do tell me about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. I'm sure they would love to hear it. And, excuse me.
Quite an expensive hobby, isn't it, Mr. Kirby? Raising orchids.
Yes, it is. But I feel if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it is never expensive.
Oh, that's very true.
You see, I need something to relieve the daily nerve strain. After a whole week in Wall Street, I would go crazy if I didn't have something like that. A lot of men I know have yachts just for that very reason.
Well, why don't they give up Wall Street?
How's that?
Oh, I was only kidding.
I think it's important for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, for me, it's more than a hobby. My great solace is spiritualism.
Spiritualism? Now, Mrs. Kirby, everybody knows that's fake.
Actually, Mrs. Sycamore, it's, well, I would rather not discuss it.
Now, Penny, everyone has hobbies. You have a hobby or two.
Yes, but not silly ones.
Now, Penny, I think it matters not what the hobby is, it's just that we have one.
To be ideal, a hobby must sharpen the mind as well as the body. The Romans, they were great people. And why? What was their hobby? Wrestling! And wrestling, you must be quick with the mind as well as quick with the body.
Yes, but I'm afraid wrestling isn't very practical for all of us. I would make a very good showing as a wrestler.
Nonsense! You would make great wrestler. You are built for it. Look!
Where are my glasses? Here.
Here they are. Oh, they're broken.
Oh, I am terribly sorry, but of course, you will not wear glasses next time you wrestle.
I do not intend to wrestle again, Mr. Cullen Cobb.
Perhaps you better sit down, Father.
Mr. Kollenhoff, how could you do such a thing? Why didn't somebody stop him?
I think it would be best if we were going.
Mother!
Mrs. Kirby, please don't go. Mr. Kirby, please, I've ordered some scrambled eggs for you and plain salad. Please don't go.
I am sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Mr. Kirby, if I'd been here.
It's okay. It's all right.
So, you were telling us your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Do you raise many different varieties?
I'm afraid I've quite forgotten about my orchids.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Kirby.
What did I do that was so wrong? So I threw him on the floor. Did it kill him?
Please, Mr. Kollenhoff.
Well, that was exciting for a minute. And I'm sure dinner won't be any time at all.
Would you like some candy while you're waiting, Mr. Kirby? They're freshly made.
My doctor does not permit me to eat candies, but thank you.
Oh, well, they're just coconut, marshmallow, and fudge.
Don't, Essie.
Well. Oh, Miss Alice.
Excuse me. What is it, Reba?
The eggs done fell down the sink.
Make some more, quick.
I ain't got any.
Send Delia out for some and tell her to hurry.
Oh, all right. Delia!
I'm so sorry. There will be a little delay, but everything will be ready in just a minute.
I know. Why don't we play a game while we're waiting?
But Mother, did Mr. and Mrs. Kirby want to...
I know a game. It involves a little prig with a glass of water.
No, Mr. Kollenhoff!
Oh, Colin Cobb.
Now, this game is perfectly harmless.
I'm not very good at games, Mrs. Sycamore.
Please,
Oh,
Mother.
now, Mr. Kirby, any fool can play this game.
Come on, Father. Be a sport.
All you do is write your name down on this card. Oh, here you go, Mr. Kirby. Mrs. Kirby, you do the same on this one.
Mother, what is this game?
Oh, I used to play it all the time as a kid. It's called Forget Me Not. So I'm going to call out a word, and you're going to write down the first word that comes to your mind. For example, if I say grass, you might say green. Or if I say table, you might say chair. It's just to show people's reactions to different things. You see how simple it is, Mr. Kirby?
I understand.
So, remember, you must play fair. Write down the first thing that comes to your head. Is everybody ready for the first word?
Ready!
Okay, the first word is potatoes. Potatoes. Did everybody get potatoes? Okay, the second word is bathroom.
Mother!
Bathroom. Did everybody get bathroom? Okay, the third word is lust.
Mother, this is not exactly...
Lust is a perfectly fine word, Alice.
It's not all right, Mother.
Oh, I don't know. It seems to me to be a perfectly fair word.
You see, Alice, you mustn't interrupt the game.
What was that last word again?
Oh, yes. Lust, Mr. Kirby.
I've got it.
Okay. Now, the fourth word is honeymoon. Ooh. Oh, now, Essie. Now, the last word is sex.
Mother!
Sex. Did everybody get sex? Okay. Now, give me your cards. Thank you. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now is my favorite part. Now I'm going to read your reactions out loud.
I see. This is quite the interesting game.
It certainly is. Mr. Kirby, I'll read your paper first. I'm reading Mr. Kirby's paper first, everybody. This is Mr. Kirby. Okay. Potatoes. Steak. See how they go together? Steak, potatoes.
I just happened to think of it.
Well, it is wonderful, Mr. Kirby. Bathroom, toothpaste. Very lovely. Lust, unlawful. Okay. Honeymoon trip,
Yes. Sex? Male. Oh, of course you are, Mr. Kirby. You know, that is certainly a wonderful paper.
Thank you. It's more than just a game, you know? Kind of an experiment in psychology, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It shows how our mind really works. Now to read your paper, Mrs. Kirby. This is Mrs. Kirby's paper, everybody. Can you find it? Okay. Potatoes, starch. I know just what you mean. Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
What was that?
Bathroom, Mr. Kirby?
I don't quite follow that, my dear.
I just meant, Anthony, that you are in there an awful lot with bathing and shaving and all. You do take a good amount of time.
Indeed. I hadn't realized I was being selfish in the matter. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
I think it's a very silly game. We ought to stop it.
Yes.
No, please go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
Lust, human.
Human? Really? Miriam!
I just meant, Anthony, that lust is, after all, a human emotion.
Lust is not a human emotion. It is depraved.
All right, Anthony. I'm wrong.
Really, it's the most pointless game. Suppose we play 20 questions.
Yes.
No. I find this game rather interesting. What was the next word again, Mrs. Sycamore?
Honeymoon?
Oh, yes. Honeymoon. And what was Mrs. Kirby's answer?
Honeymoon. Dull?
Did you just say dull?
What I meant, Anthony, was that Hot Spring wasn't very gay that season, with all those old people sitting out on the porch all afternoon and nothing to do at night.
Mom!
That was not your reaction at the time, as I recall it.
Father, this is just a game.
A very illuminating game. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
This one's all right. Sex, Wall Street.
Wall Street? What do you mean by that, Miriam?
Oh, I don't know what I meant, Anthony. Nothing.
Well, you must have meant something, or else you wouldn't have put it down.
Oh, I don't know. It was just the first thing that came into my head.
But what does it mean? Sex with Wall Street?
I don't know, Anthony. It's just that you talk about it all the time, even with... Alice, would you mind terribly if we didn't stay for dinner? This game has given me a bit of a headache.
I understand, Mrs. Kirby.
Yes, perhaps we better postpone the dinner if you don't mind.
You'll come tomorrow night, won't you?
I'm afraid we have other engagements tomorrow night.
Perhaps we better postpone the whole affair a little while with the hot weather and...
I think we're being very ungracious, Father. We'll stay to dinner.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
Come on, Tony. I'm sure everyone understands.
Well, I don't.
Tony, no.
What?
We were fools, Tony. Everything would work. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't be at the office tomorrow. I won't be there at all anymore.
Alice?
I'm very sorry, my dear. Are you ready to go, Miriam?
Yes, Anthony.
You mustn't mind this.
It was very lovely to meet you all. Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
I see. Your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Stay right where you are, everybody. Don't move.
Oh, good heavens!
How dare you? What does this mean?
What is all this?
I demand an explanation.
Sir! Which one is it?
This is him.
Oh,
justice.
Oh my goodness, James!
I haven't done anything.
What's the boy done, officer?
What is it? What's it all about?
The door leads to the cellar?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Mac? Jim,
Yes, sir.
check the kitchen. Then go upstairs and see what you find.
Okay. I haven't done anything. Come here, you.
Oh!
You recognize this? They're my circulars. You print this stuff, huh? Yes, sir. 12 bucks of candies put in people's homes, huh?
The love drive!
Did it? Dynamite the Capitol. Dynamite the Supreme Court. Dynamite the White House. God is the state is God.
But I didn't need them. I just like to print. Don't know, Grandpa?
Yes, the government's in no danger from Ed. His hobby. He'll print anything.
Now this is just nonsense!
I refuse to stay here and be taken in.
Will you let me give my pipe?
You're right, Chief. They've got enough gunpowder down there to blow up the whole city. Still.
Everybody in this house is under arrest.
Let's get down there.
Shut up! All of you! Officer, it seems that... Shut up!
Who is that?
That is my brother.
The fireworks! The fireworks!
For appearance in the West Side Court this morning. After spending a night in jail, the defendants, 13 in all, were sentenced before Judge Callahan and given suspended sentences of manufacturing fireworks without a permit.
Yeah, they kept me in the same cell with Mrs. Kirby and a stripteaser from a burlesque show.
I was in the cell with Mr. Kirby himself, and my, he was mad.
Mrs. Kirby and the stripteaser, they were fighting all night.
Well, there sure is a lot about Mr. Kirby in here. Anthony W. Kirby, 62, Kirby & Co., Wall Street, who was among those apprehended, declared that he was in no way interested in the manufacturing of fireworks, although he did not give a reason as to why he was on the premises during the time of the raid. Mr. Kirby is a member of the Racket Club, the Union Club, the Harvard Club, and the National Geographic Society. Mine, he sure is a joiner.
All in Richmond or Elks or something.
Well, I suppose after all this, Mr. Tony ain't ever gonna marry Miss Alice, huh?
No, ma'am, and it sure is a shame. Miss Alice loves that boy.
Well, you ever notice how rich folks always getting themselves into trouble?
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad I'm poor.
Oh, me too.
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all that food in the kitchen. Ain't gonna be no party tonight.
Well, ain't we gonna eat it anyhow?
I'm cooking it, but nobody's gonna eat it.
Well, I'm hungry.
They ain't. They're all so broke up about Miss Alice leaving.
Well, where's she want to go away for anyway? Where's she going?
I don't know. Mountain someplace. She's going all right. No matter what any of them say, I know Miss Alice when she gets that look in her eye. Sure is a shame.
Not even a balloon left. Look.
How's your hand, Mr. DePenna? Better?
Yes, it's better. Is there some more olive oil in there?
Yeah, it's in the salad bowl.
Thank you. Well, she's going. Nothing anybody can say can change her mind.
Oh, she ain't gonna stay away long now, is she, Mrs. Sycamore?
I don't know, Reba, she won't say.
Oh my, sure is gonna be lonesome around here without her.
Well, how do you feel, Miss Sycamore?
Oh, I'm all right, just a little upset. Perhaps if I get some work done, I'd feel better.
Well, I won't bother you then, Miss Sycamore.
She's going, and
Yes.
now, Penny.
Oh, Paul, I just can't help but feel that this is our fault.
It's mine more than yours. I've just been going when maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
But Paul, you've been such a great father to Alice, and a great husband too.
Yes, but maybe that's not enough. Maybe if I was an architect, I don't know, something else to be proud of.
But we've been so happy.
Well, maybe that's not enough. I'm all mixed up now.
What time is she going?
About 7:30.
Oh, I wish you'd see Tony. He could persuade her.
But she won't.
Where is he?
Somewhere up the block, I bet.
Oh. No, I feel so bad for Tony. Grandpa?
Now, Alice, you're gonna have to let her be.
But Grandpa!
Suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll be back. You can only take so much Adirondacks before you come home.
Oh, but it's all so terrible.
Yeah, but in a way, it's got its bright sides too.
What do you mean?
Like Mr. Kirby, for example. The expression on his face when he had to get into the patrol wagon. And to see him have to take a bath with Ed. I'll never forget that if I live to be 100. And believe me, I intend to.
Oh, it was even worse with Mrs. Kirby. When the matron stripped her, there was this burlesque dancer, and she kept singing the strip song when Mrs. Kirby undressed.
I bet you Bar Harbor's gonna seem pretty dull to the Kirbys this summer. You need any help, Alice?
No thanks, Grandpa. I'm just going to press these.
Alice?
Penny, I'll bring the big bag down as soon as you're ready, Alice.
Thank you.
Alice, would you like to take some candy along to the train?
No thanks, Essie.
Oh, Alice, why don't you stay? You could be just as alone here as you could in the mountains. You could just stay in your room all the time.
No, Mother, I want to be by myself, away from everybody. I love you all, you know that, but I just have to go away for a while. I'll be all right. Father, did you phone for a cab?
I didn't know you wanted one.
Oh, I told Mr. Dependent to tell you. Didn't he tell you?
Oh, he told me, but I forgot.
Oh, I wish I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything, that behaved the way other people's families do. I'm sick of cornflakes and Delia and everything. Why can't we be like a normal family? Roast beef and 2 green vegetables and doilies on the table and a place you can bring your friends to without...
Oh, I'll see if I can do anything. Alice!
Tony, she's in the kitchen. Please go talk to her.
Thank you. Alice, won't you listen to me, please? Alice!
It's no use, Tony.
Alice, you're not being fair. At least listen to me.
Where'd they go?
Upstairs.
Oh, she ran out the minute he came in.
She knocked the olive oil out of my hands. I'm smelling kind of fishy now.
You doing all right, Mr. Dependent? Is your hand still hurting you?
Oh, no, it's better.
What about the fireworks?
Everything's blown up. Even my Roman costume.
See? I told you it had bright sides too. Well, all except my 23 years back income tax.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about that, Grandpa?
Well, I had kind of an idea, but I don't know if it'll work. But I'll be trying it anyhow.
What is it?
Oh, well,
Good evening, everybody.
Why, Mr. Kollenkoff?
Forgive me. The door was open.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Kollenkoff.
come on in.
I hope you do not mind me coming in today. I realize that you all must be upset.
Oh,
Mr. Kollenkoff, I don't think I can take my lessons today. I just don't feel up to it.
Oh, well then,
Oh, but do stay to dinner, Mr. Kollenkoff. We've got all that food out there, and someone's got to eat it.
I would be happy to, Madam Sycamore. Now, I wonder if I know you well enough to ask of you great favor.
Yes, of course, Mr. Kollenkoff. What is it?
Well, you all know my good friend, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina, yes?
Yes.
The Grand Duchess is a wonderful woman, a cousin of the Tsar, but now she is working in Child's Restaurant, Times Square.
Yes, it's such a shame.
And I tell you, the Grand Duchess has not had a good meal since before the revolution came.
Well, she must be hungry then.
Aye. And today is not only her day off, Thursday, but it is also the anniversary of Peter the Great, remarkable man. Huzzah!
Mr. Kollenkoff, if you're suggesting the Grand Duchess come here for dinner, why, we'd be honored.
Oh, yes.
In the name of the Grand Duchess, I thank you.
Oh, where is she now?
She is outside, in street, waiting. I bring her in.
Oh, and fix your tie, and I see your dress. Oh, I hope I look all right.
Keep up. I want to live to be 150.
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. Now, Grand Duchess, allow me to present to you Madam Sycamore, Madam Carmichael, Grandpa,
Madam,
Mr. Sycamore, Mr. Carmichael, and Mr. Dupena.
that's enough.
We are so honored to have you. Would you sit down?
Oh, thank you. You are most kind.
We are so honored to receive you, Your Highness.
I am most happy to be here. How soon is dinner?
Quite soon, Your Highness, quite soon.
I do not mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another waitress.
I will watch the time, Your Highness.
Thank you, Kollenkov.
Your Highness, I think that you waited on me in Child's once, the 72nd Street place.
Oh, no, that was my sister.
The Grand Duchess Natasha.
I work in Times Square.
Quite a lot of you folks coming around here nowadays, aren't there?
Oh, yes, many. My uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei, he's an elevator man at Macy's. A very nice man. Then there is my cousin, Prince Alexius. He will not speak to the rest of us because he works at Happy Carnegie. He's in ladies' underwear.
He would speak to you when he was hot dog vendor at Coney Island night.
Kollenkov, our time is coming. Oh, my sister, Natasha, she is studying to be a manicurist. Uncle Sergei, they have promised to make floor water. And the next month, I get transferred to the 5th Avenue Childs. From there, it is only a step to straps, and then you will see what Prince Alexius says. You are telling me.
Your Highness, did you know the Tsar? Personally, I mean.
Of course, he was my cousin. It was terrible what happened to him, but perhaps it was for the best. Where could he get a job now?
Problem. That is true.
And poor relations are poor relations. It is the same in every family. My cousin, the King of Sweden, he was very nice to us for about 10 years. Every once in a while, he would send a money order, but then he said, I just cannot go on, I'm not doing so well myself. I do not blame him.
No, of course not, Your Highness. Would you excuse me for just a minute?
Tell me, Your Highness, is it true what they say about Rasputin?
Everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, my dear sir, it is true. And how?
You don't say!
Your Highness, we must watch the time.
Yes, I must not be late. The manager, he does not like me. He is a communist.
We'll hurry things up, Your Highness. I say, why don't you go into the kitchen and see if Reba needs any help?
I will help too. I'm a very good cook.
Oh, but not on your day off, Your Highness.
I do not mind. Where is your kitchen?
Right this way. But you're the guest of honor, Your Highness.
But I love to cook. Come, Kollenkov, if they have got sour cream and pot cheese, I will make you some blintzes.
Blintzes! Huzzah!
Say, that Duchess is all right, isn't she? Hey, Duchess, can I help?
Gee, she's got a wonderful face for a mask, hasn't she?
Oh, she's so nice, given that she's a Grand Duchess and all.
It's wonderful that some people can go through and still keep kind of gay, too.
Yeah, you know, I kind of almost forgot everything for a minute.
I better call for a cab.
Oh, no, Paul, do wait. Oh, here they come now. Maybe Tony's changed your mind somehow.
Ed, will you bring my bag down?
Ed, don't do it.
Ed, please.
Please. Fine. Go get her back. Do you know you've got the most stubborn daughter in all 48 states?
That must be their cab.
If it is, it's certainly impeccable service.
Is Tony here, Alice?
Yes, yes, he is. Come right in, Mr. Kirby.
Good evening. Forgive my intruding. Tony, I want you to come home with me. Your mother's very upset.
Very well, Father. Goodbye, Alice.
Goodbye, Tony.
I need hardly say that this is as upsetting for Mrs. Kirby and myself as it is for you people. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you understand.
Well, yes, but in a way, no. Quite frankly, I don't think that these two young people got quite as much sense as you and I have.
Grandpa, will you please not do this?
I'm just talking to Mr. Kirby. A cat can look at a king, can't he?
Alice, do you want me to do that for you?
No, Mother.
The train won't arrive until an hour.
Will you send a cab to 761 Claremont right away, please? That's right. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Kirby, I suppose that after last night, you might think this family is, well, a little crazy.
No, I would not say that. However, I'm not accustomed to going out to dinner and then spending the night in jail.
Well, you do gotta remember, you came on the wrong night. Now, tonight, I bet you nothing will happen at all. Maybe.
Mr. Vanderhoff, it was not merely last night that made Mrs. Kirby and myself think this engagement might be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Now, Alice, the last time, will you marry me?
No, Tony, I know what your father means and he's right.
No, he's not.
Alice, you're in love with this boy and you're not marrying him because the kind of people that we are.
Grandpa.
I know. You think that these two families wouldn't get along. And you know what? Maybe you're right. But who's to say that they're right and we're wrong?
I never said that, Grandpa. I only feel like...
Well, I feel that Tony is too nice of a boy to wake up with nothing but stocks and bonds in his life.
How's that?
Yes, mixed up and unhappy, the way you are.
Excuse me, Mr. Vanderhoff. I'm a very happy man.
Are you?
Certainly I am.
I don't think so. Where do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? No. You get it because most of your time is spent doing things that you don't want to do.
I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Yes, you do. You told me last night that at the end of your week in Wall Street, you're near crazy. So why do you do it?
Why do I do it? That's my business. A man can't give up his business.
Why not? You've got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff. But I have spent my entire life building up my business.
For what? The same kind of meetings every morning? Same kind of deals? Same mail? Same dinners at night? Same indigestion? Where's the fun come in, Mr. Kirby? You must have wanted more. There's got to be more. You haven't wanted more when you started out. We haven't got much time, you know. Any of us.
And what do you expect me to do? Live the way you do and do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. I have time enough for everything. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then. I even have time to notice when spring comes around. Practice my darts. Don't talk to anyone I don't want to, and I haven't taken a bicarbonate of soda in over 35 years. So what's the matter with that?
The matter with it? Suppose we all did it. A fine world we would have, everybody going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhoff. Now who would do the work?
There's always people that like to work. You can't stop them. Inventions, and they fly the ocean. And there will always be people that go down to Wall Street too, because they like it. But from what I gather, Mr. Kirby, you're not one of them. You're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
I wasn't either till I quit. I used to get down to that office 9 o'clock sharp every morning, no matter how I felt. Used to lay awake at night worried I wouldn't get that contract. And, you know, I used to worry about the world too. Got all worked up at whether Cleveland or Blaine was going to be president. It seemed real important at the time. But you know what? None of that matters now. What I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Kirby, is I've had 35 years that no one can take away from me, no matter what they do to the world. See?
Yes, I do see. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's un-American. And it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony to come under its influence.
What's the matter with it, Father?
The matter with it? It's downright communism, that's what it is.
You didn't always think so.
Certainly I did. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. There was a time when you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Don't be an idiot, Tony.
Oh, you wrote those letters to Grandfather. You remember those?
No. How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Mr. Kirby, did you wear tights?
Certainly not. This whole thing's absurd. I was 14 at the time.
And when you were 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player.
Tony.
And at 21, you ran away from home because you didn't want to be pushed into Grandfather's business. It's all down there in black and white. You didn't always think so.
I may have had my silly notions in my youth, but thank God my mother knocked them out of me. I went into the business and forgot about them.
Not altogether. You still have a saxophone in the back of your clothes closet.
You do? That's enough, Tony. We'll discuss this later.
No. We're discussing this now. I think Mr. Vanderhoff is right. Dad, right. I've always hated that office. I'm never going back. And I'll tell you what. I didn't make a mistake last night. I brought you here on purpose.
Tony!
Oh, good heavens!
Because I wanted you to see a real family as they really were. A family who loved each other and understood each other. You never understood me. You never had time for me. You never cared. I'm not making the same mistake you were. I'm clearing out.
Clearing out? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to be pushed into the business just because I'm your son.
Tony, what are you going to do then?
No, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer. But at least it's something I'll enjoy doing.
Oh, that must be the cab.
Grandpa!
Alice. Mr. Kirby, Tony's going through just what you and I did to people today. And I'm sure if you listen hard enough to yourself, you can hear yourself saying the same things to your father 5 years ago. We all did it. And you know what? We were right. How many of us would be able to settle? How many? How many of us would be able to settle for what we could eventually get when we're older? What we have now, all those plans we make, what happens to them? What I'm trying to tell you, Mr. Kirby, is before they clean up that closet, I'd get in a few good hours on that saxophone.
But before I'm in the Lindsay's, how many will there be for dinner?
I'll take 2. May I introduce to you, Your Highness, Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr.? Yes, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
How's that?
How do you do? Before I'm in the Lindsay's, how many will there be to dinner?
Oh, I make a whole stack of them, Your Highness. You can never be too careful.
Good. These are always said to me, although do not be stingy with the Lindsay's.
Who did you say that was again, Mr. Vanderhoff?
The Grand Duchess. She's cooking me dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, why not stay?
Oh, Mr. Kirby, do stay to dinner. We've got all that food in there that we were supposed to have last night. I mean tonight.
What do you say, Father? Are we staying for dinner?
Well, Tony, if you would care to, then I'd like to. Very much. I'm staying, Alice. The families ought to get to know each other, don't you think?
How about it, Alice? It's gonna be good company.
Mr. Kirby. Tony, oh, Tony.
I've been telling you that for years.
Grandpa, here's a letter for you. It was in the ice box.
Miss Sycamore, you'd step into my office, I'd like to do a little dictating.
I better tell that cat.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
Well.
What does it say, Grandpa?
The United States government apologizes. They've made a mistake.
Why?
Since I died 8 years ago, I don't know of a cent.
Why, Grandpa? What do they mean?
You remember Charlie the milkman?
Yes.
Well, when he died, we gave him my name. And so, I told them that I was Martin Vanderhoff Jr. and that my father had died 8 years ago. And they apologized, and I may even get a refund.
Grandpa, you're a little crook.
How did you say you escaped the income tax, Mr. Vanderhoff?
Tonight, my friends, you are going to eat. Oh.
Hello there.
How do you do?
Fine. I'm glad to see you.
What has happened?
He's relaxing. I'll tell you something, man.
Great dancer, Paul.
Thank you.
Everything will be ready any minute. You can sit down. Oh, come on, everybody. Dinner's ready. Alice, Essie, do come to dinner.
Oh, you too, Mr. Kirby.
Yes, I'm coming.
You are going to love wrestling, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, and Mr. Kirby, you're indigestion.
Nonsense. I haven't any indigestion.
Well, sir, here we are again to thank you once more. It seems that Alice and Chloe are going to be married, and it seems that they're going to be very happy. And of course, the fireworks did blow up, but that was the tennis ball, not yours. And of course, we'd like to keep our health in check, but as far as everything else is concerned, we'll leave that to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Grandpa, I have just received another letter from Russia. The second 5-year plan is failure. Huzzah!
Mr. Kirby, do you like roast goose? We're having roast goose for dinner.
Like it? Why, it's my favorite dish.
Mr. Kirby, I'm going to be dancing for you tonight. I've got a new mazurka.
Ooh, I bring some special music for that too. Miss Sycamore, how was your trip to the Adirondacks?
Shut your face, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh, yes. Oh, grapes. Can you give me a luxury, Paul?
Oh, thank you, Grandpa.
Do my foolish alibis bother you? Rainbows, I'm fine for soon.